Based on issues and concerns around internet access, we have selected two main critical influences in the next 20 years. Our first influence is cost, the capital required to construct and maintain internet provisioning in Australia. Our second influence is access to this internet, the ability for all classes and incomes to be able to connect. The cost of infrastructure is directly influenced by the availability of resources, costs, and development of the efficient information technology and government funding. High costs in the future were due to inflation, disregard to environmental problems, and a lack of monetary and fiscal policy foresight. Lower costs in the future, although harder to imagine, will be due to technological breakthroughs, pushed through bottlenecks in geography and bandwidth, two common problems with access today. Our second uncertainty is the level of internet access that can be achieved by this provision. Although we are continuing to become digitized, there is a level of uncertainty in this exponential growth and reliance on devices can be sustainable without levels of inequality. High levels of access would occur due to the development of the Internet of Things and the complete trust by users that occurs due to stable security and privacy circumstances. Low levels would likely be seen in conjunction with high costs of worldwide events such as significant cybercrime attacks and pillage our confidence in complete connectivity. To create our scenarios, we rely on these uncertainties to enact this. Our four scenarios are digital divide, internet for few under high cost, low access, black cap for low cost, low access, digital playgrounds describing low cost, high access, and inefficient intangibility, personal loans for internet with high cost, high access.
The year is 2037, and being unconnected is no longer an option. The past 30 years has seen inflation at levels never experienced before. By the early 20s, the internet spread over the daily life, and smartphones were just the beginning of a connected world. Your car drives itself. Your fridge orders food automatically. The digital connection permeates everyday activities, such as eating and showering. By 2030, declining resources and waning government funding has seen the equality gap widen to a point where globalization is the reality. Internet access is fully privatized as the A10 project is completed 6 years behind and with a $40 billion debt. Internet price and quality fall, although as everything is already connected, people and companies doesn't have the option to not be part of it. With big corporations holding all the cards and your data, keeping data private in the cloud would become impossible. With consumers surveilled under Big Brother style system, ISPs are large multinational corporations, more powerful than the government. Banks offer loans for internet letters. The average specs costing more than an average university class. Internet access reaches 100%, but it consumes a big part of people's and enterprise funds.
Our second scenario to look at is digital divide, internet for few. This scenario fits out of a high-cost, low-access matrix. Will good internet access be affordable for just the richest in the future? In a world with high cost of personal and professional use, this may be a reality. The demand for affordable resources is more pressing than ever as commodities price rise after years of cost-push inflation. Key resource areas have been intense military activity and sometimes even more. The development of bricks and the waste of resources in the first world has created vast inefficiencies in processes. The internet has not escaped from the effect of high-cost infrastructure. With less resources, companies start to charge more from their customers. The rising costs of delivering internet access also affects government funding. Projects like the NBN are abandoned and privatised. Contractually fiscal policy and an ageing population demands cash flow. As government funding disappears, costs for implementing new infrastructure projects continues to skyrocket. Deregulation of the communications market results in the return of powerful conglomerates. Society is now more divided than ever, as internet access becomes a status symbol. Only the elites and floated companies can afford access. However, in the first scenario, disadvantaged and even the middle class can't compromise big parts of their budgets that are focused on food and housing for expensive internet bundles. There are alternatives to go without or share internet through public systems such as libraries. Free Wi-Fi offered by businesses in the hospitality industry vanishes overnight.
Next up is digital playground.
Tumbleweed is seen rolling through local parks and playgrounds. But don't worry, children are still playing. On the digital devices, it is the year 2037. We have entered the age of internet, and everybody is finally connected. Low-cost infrastructure has made the price of internet access cheaper than ever before. Even third-world countries are connected. The world is closer and innovations are at an all-time high as creative minds around the world digitally collaborate. The internet has rapidly dominated countless components of daily life. Socializing, work, health checkups, shopping, sport, leisure time, and voting has all become digital, and there is no longer a need to leave the home. Consequently, the value of real estate has plummeted as shop fronts are no longer needed. These vacant spaces are now being used for residential apartments, so cities are continually becoming more populated. Yet, what is described as utopia or ideal world is certainly not all it seems. Internet speeds are slowing down as billions of devices around the world aim to connect at the same time. Even worse, internet crime is higher than ever before. Privacy no longer exists, and nobody's personal information is safe. In fact, today's warfare is predominantly centered around internet hacking.
And finally, we could have a low internet access in a low-cost scenario. Our final scenario is black hat. Furthermore, things haven't worked out as planned. There are major lacks of regulation and policy for internet users in the global south, and as a result, an increase in the use of the black market. Like a spreading disease, the black market is more accessible than ever, with people taking part in illegal activities. With war increasing over the globe and terrorism becoming commonplace, a general sense of fear is seeping into people's lives. Anti-globalization groups have also taken the opportunity to use fear as a vehicle to spread the ideology of a segregated world without connectivity. Communities are now open for a micro-flow. Independent economy that is relatively self-sustaining. There is more emphasis on a fiscal outlook with growth in the environment and agriculture industry. Boosting support for local businesses, previously left on their own. An increased number of internet security threats are being reported. Australia sees increasing internet users due to a fear of losing touch with the real world and concerns over the legality and security of the black market. Internet access is decreasing, and highly competitive internet service providers are struggling to make profit on the back of these changes.
Finally, for recommendations. Scenario 1, inefficient intangibility. We recommend keeping the NBN government owned. For Scenario 2, digital divide. We recommend reducing inequality and subsidizing internet access even further. For Scenario 3, digital playground. We recommend keeping certain elements of life offline. And finally, for Scenario 4, black cat, increasing regulation and building trust around the internet.